right? Before the break, we went over how we got a formula, right, for infinite. And then something very important is sometimes the formula can give you the right answer, sometimes it doesn't, okay? So you need to check the ratio before you plug anything into the formula. Okay? You need to make sure the question you're given has a ratio between -1 and 1, okay? Otherwise, even if you put it in, you still get a number out, but then that number won't make sense, okay? So if you found out that the ratio is not in between, then your answer is just simply undefined, right? Or you can say sum doesn't exist. Okay, so make sure you check that before you plug number in. Okay, all right, so let's try a question down here. So find the sum of the infinite geometric series, right? So you will know that it's infinite because it says dot dot dot, right? It doesn't go on. And also the question says infinite, okay? So the formula will be S infinite, right? So remember, before plugging in, we need to check the ratio. So what's the ratio for this one? Kelly?
2.
2. How do you know it's 2?
Because it's the first term.
Ratio is not the first term. Okay, I think it's
Oh,
because,
ratio, sorry.
huh?
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Because you missed the class before, right? Last class, is it? Kelly, you haven't watched the video for last one?
Oh no, I was here last class.
Oh, yeah, I remember. Okay, so how do you get ratio then?
You divide the second term and the first term.
That's right. Okay, yes. Okay, so over here, what's the ratio? Try again. Second term divided by first term. Which one is second term? You know, which one's the second term? Kelly, you there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which one's the first term?
2,
Yeah. Which one's the second term?
-1,
Yeah. Which one's third term?
1/2.
Yeah, very good. So to get the ratio, which one over which one?
-1/2.
Yeah, so that's our ratio, okay? Okay, so is this ratio between -1 and 1? Tiana?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so then we can begin plugging to formula, okay? If you found out that the ratio is like 2 or like -5, then you would just simply say the sum doesn't exist, okay? And you're done. You move on to the next one, okay? So you got to check the ratio first. So the formula is A over 1 minus R, okay? So we plug in the number. A is 2, right? A is the first term over 1 minus ratio, okay? So please plug into your calculator now and raise your hand when you found the answer. You can leave your answer in fraction. Okay, have you all got it? Kelly and Samantha? Okay, what's the fraction, Elaine? Elaine, do you have an answer?
I got 4/3.
4/3. Cindy?
I I think I got the same.
You got the same? Okay, Eric?
I got the same.
The same, okay, all right. So what this number means is if the pattern continues, right? 2 minus 1 plus half minus 1/4, and the next one should be plus 1/8 minus 1/16, right? If we keep on adding, eventually this total will be very close to 4/3, okay? So because it's so close, we just say it's 4/3, okay? Just like the idea we had here, right? Eventually, if you add all these numbers up, it'll be so close to 100. Then you just say 100. Then that's the sum, okay? Let's try one more time. Okay, question B. So start by writing out the ratio and plug into formula. When you found the final answer, you can raise your hand, okay? Okay, so Kelly, can you try one more time? What's the ratio for this one?
-1/5.
Yeah, very good. Okay, and then the total, Donna, what do you have? S infinite.
50/3.
50/3. Is that the answer?
Yeah.
Okay. Cindy, how about you?
The same.
Are the same? Okay. Kelly, do you get the same?
Same.
Yeah, okay. Okay, sounds good. Okay, just plug into formula. That's all. Okay. Now let's look at next part. This part is not asking you to find the sum. Okay, so let's look at the question. Question 21. Determine whether the following infinite geometry series have a finite sum, right? Have a finite sum or not, right? So you want to check yes or no, right? Does it have a finite sum? So you need to think about what we said here. If you want to have a finite sum, you need to make sure the ratio is in between. Okay, so please check these two. And you can just say finite sum or sum doesn't exist. Okay, you can answer like that. Okay, when you finish A and B, you can raise your hand. All right, let's check the question A. Tiana, what do you think? Finite or not?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, finite. And what's the ratio you got?
-1/3.
Very good. -1/3 is between -1 and 1, right? Okay, how about Eric? B.
No.
No. Okay, so you can say sum doesn't exist. okay? Or you can say it's an infinite sum, okay? So the ratio here, what's the ratio then, Irae?
5.
Yeah, this one is a 5, okay? So make sure you read the question, right? Don't just start right away and plug into formula, okay? Both of them, if you plug in the formula, it will come out a number. But then for question B, the answer that you get, it won't make sense, okay? Okay, number 22. Here it says if the sum of an infinite geometric series is 90, common ratio is this, right? Find the first term. Okay, so this one is not too difficult. I won't say anything, okay? I'll let you try it first. And if you can get an answer, you can raise your hand. Okay, if you are still stuck on what to do here, right? If you see the word infinite series, right away you think about the formula. Okay, and then you think about what you can plug in. So that will be a hint, okay, if you are stuck. Okay, most of you got it. Okay, Cindy, can you tell us what you did first?
Plug stuff into the formula.
Okay, so what do you plug in then? How do I start?
90 equals a over 1 minus negative 1 over 5.
Yeah, very good. Okay, so you, instead of finding the sum, they tell you the sum, right? So 90 will go into the left side, okay? And then to continue solving, okay, Donna, what's the next step you do?
You add 1 plus 1 over 5 equals 6 over 5.
So 6 over 5. Okay, so add them up and then?
And then you multiply 90 times 6 over 5. And then it equals to 108.
Equals to which one?
108.
108. Okay, so this is cross multiplying. Okay. So 6 over 5 multiplied to the left side, and you get 108. Okay, is there anyone having trouble for this one? Okay, you can put down your hand if you got the same answer, okay? Yeah, okay. Now we are going to move on to word problem, okay? There are two kinds of word problem that's usually being tested, okay? For sequence and series, okay? So we are gonna move on to page 50, and then we'll do two word problem, okay? I select two of them, and then that will be all, okay? For this lesson. So for 25, okay? Here we have a square that has sides that are 100 centimeter long. And then another square is constructed by joining the midpoint of the sides. Okay, so think about that in your head first, right? Think about the picture. Okay, continue this process until an eighth square has been constructed by this process, okay? And then it's asking what is the perimeter of the 8th square. All right, so I would like you guys try to draw a picture, okay? And see if you are able to interpret the sentence in the same way as other people, okay? As yeah, if you can get the right idea. So draw the picture first and raise your hand, okay? We'll see what you draw. So of course, we need to draw a square, right? So let me draw a square first. Okay, if you finish drawing, please raise your hand. Okay, can I have Kelly to draw on the screen? Can you show me what you got on your paper?
I can't draw on the screen.
Oh, with the mouse?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. How about Cindy? Are you able to draw?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so you have a lot of squares there. Okay, thank you. Anybody got something different? All right, let me put another square. Anyone got something different? Because everybody think differently, right? When you read the same sentence. Does anyone have different picture or everyone got the same?
I have a different picture.
Okay, Ray, could you share with us? Okay, so you have kind of like a rhombus now. Okay. Oh, another one inside. Okay. And keeps on going in, right? Okay. And anyone got different? Donna, what do you think? What kind of picture do you have? Donna, is your mic not functioning again? Okay, how about Eric?
I have the first one.
You have the first one?
Yeah.
Okay. Yenma, how about you? Do you have the same picture or something else? Tiana?
Oh, I have the same as E-Rays.
Oh, the second one?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So far, 2 votes for each, right? How about Kelly? Which one do you have?
I have the same as Cindy's.
Same as Cindy. Wow, okay. So you see the people think differently, right? We got to respect their ideas, okay? Okay, so let's take a look, okay? We'll look at the sentence again. I'm gonna erase your drawing, okay? Erase the square. And can you guys help me erase your drawing too? Okay. Okay. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so let's look at the sentence again, right? Or think about which picture should be the one that they want you to do, right? So the first one is easy, right? A square is 100 centimeter long, right? The sides. So that means this part is 100, okay? 100 centimeter long with the sides. Now the second part says another square is constructed, means made, right? By joining, right? Join means connect. Connect the midpoints of the sides. So you need to connect the midpoint of all the sides, right? Because it did not say which side, so we are assuming it's all the sides, okay? So for the first square, midpoint will be, first side, one of the side midpoint will be there, another midpoint, and then another midpoint, and then another midpoint, right? All these are midpoints of the sides. And I want to make another square by joining that, right? So it'll be this way. So that's the second square, okay? Because if you do it like this, right? If you do the first way before, that's a midpoint, I know, right? That's a midpoint. But then if I connect the midpoint, it doesn't make a square, right? Or, okay. Or if you do it, you draw it like this, right? Then it did not say where to put the point there, right? And then you have another point there, right? It didn't mention about the corner, right? Why not draw the other corner? Okay, so we want the one that matches, like you just follow the instruction, okay? Word for word, and then you should be able to get the right picture, okay? So the next square, we can get the next square by joining the midpoints again, right? So that's this one, right? The green one, the green midpoint, and join all the midpoints again, you get the third square. Okay, and then the pattern continues. So we want to do this until the 8th square, right? The blue one is the first one. First one, right? Blue one is the first one. The red one is the second one, right? And then the green one is the third one, and keep on going. Okay, so we need to see if there's a pattern, right? Because this one is in the geometric sequence. So supposedly it should have a common ratio, all right? And we want to get the perimeter. So let's find the perimeter of each square. Okay, so for the first square, perimeter is 100, right? Times it by 4. That part is easy, 400. For the second square, I'm gonna use the red. Okay, how do we get the perimeter of the second square now? Any plan? What should we do to get the second square perimeter? Anyone? P. Any suggestion what to do? Eric, what do you think? Any plan?
We find the side length of the eighth square and then multiply by 4.
Find what? Find
Side length of the square, the eighth square.
yeah, but we are not doing the 8th square yet. Okay, we are doing the second one, right? We don't.
Oops, yeah. Divide.
Divide.
By 2.
Divide which one by 2?
The first one.
The first one. You mean the 100?
Yeah.
Divide the 100 by 2, so that's 50. What's that? What's the 50 for?
One of the sides.
One of the sides of the red one. So you are
Yeah.
saying the red one is 50. Is that what you mean?
Oh, wait. No. Okay.
Okay. So
Uh,
what?
we use Pythagoras to find,
Pythagoras.
yeah, to find the side of the second square, and then we find the rate.
Okay, so you need to use Pythagoras. Okay, so let me ask Tiana. Do you understand what he's talking about, the Pythagoras part? How do you use Pythagoras to find the side of the red square? Tiana?
I'm not sure.
Well, if you want to use Pythagoras, you must have right triangles, right? Do you see any right triangle right now?
Mm,
Is there any right triangle?
yeah,
Where? Can you show
like
me?
half a square diagonal.
Can you shade it on the screen? Show me where's the right triangle you are looking at. Oh, okay. So that's the right triangle in the middle for the green one, right? But then we want the one that can help us get the red. Okay, right now we are focusing on the red. Let me take away the green one, okay? Can you clear your drawing for me? Okay, so let me clear the green one so you can focus on the red, okay? Our goal right now is try to get the side of the red first. Oops. So where is the right triangle then? Yeah. Okay. Then for that right triangle, do you know any sides? Tiana, do you know any sides of that right triangle?
Hypotenuse.
Hypotenuse? Oh, okay. Hypotenuse is, how long is it?
100.
100, okay. Sounds good. Okay, so if hypotenuse 100, so are we able to figure out one of the sides, the other two sides? How can we use Pythagoras on that? Let me ask Kelly, what do you think? Now you have a right triangle there and hypotenuse is 100. How do you use Pythagoras?
I used a different right angle.
Oh, which one did you use?
I used the corner of the blue square.
So like this one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, we have two different ways then, right? Okay. So let's focus on the red one then. Let's just work on the red first. Your way could also work. Okay, we can talk about that later. So for the red, how do we make a Pythagoras then?
You can cut it in half, so then it's 50 and make a right angle in the middle.
50 and make a right angle in the middle. Oh, you mean I cut in half again, like that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, too many cut, okay? Too many cut. Let's keep it just one triangle. Otherwise, it'll be too confusing. We'll call the side we want to find x, okay? We'll call this side the x first. And then just use Pythagoras this way. How do we set it up? What's the Pythagoras theorem?
A squared plus b squared equals c squared.
Okay, so which one's ABC here?
100 is c,
Mhm.
and then x would be a and b.
Yeah, okay, so it'll be x squared, right? A squared plus b squared equals to 100 squared. Okay, so if we do like this, we can solve for x, right? So let's ask Donna, how do we proceed from here?
X squared plus x squared equals 2x squared, and then 100 divide. Oh yeah, and then 100 squared
Mhm.
is 10,000,
10,000, okay.
and then divide by 2
Mm-hmm.
on both sides, and then
So 5,000.
yeah, and then square root
Mm-hmm.
5,000.
Okay, square root 5,000. Can we simplify this? Like, take things out,
Yeah,
okay? What will go out then?
50.
50. Oh, 50. 50, and what's left inside?
2.
2. Okay, okay. Sounds good, right? So this one is using Tiena's triangle, right? The red one, right? And then we can figure out one of the sides. So if I do that, okay, let me erase the annotation there. Okay, so if I use Tiena's method, right, one side is 50 root 2. So the perimeter will be 50 root 2 times by 4. So that's what? 200 root 2. Okay, now if I use Kelly's triangle, the blue triangle, right, that could also work. Then the blue triangle, right? If I want to use the blue triangle instead, then Kelly, how do you set up then? Because this blue one is yours.
Half of 100 is 50, so then on the two sides it'd be both 50.
Okay.
And then use Pythagoras.
Pythagoras. Okay, so same thing, right? So 50 squared plus 50 squared equal to x squared. And then 50 squared is 2,500 plus 2,500. Right? So that's also 5,000. So you still end up the same thing. Okay, so you can see one single problem you can approach differently, right? And then you can continue the process, get the green one, okay, if you want to do the third one, right? I think it's gonna take a long time, right? So just having the two terms is enough for us to get the ratio, okay? So we are assuming this is geometric, okay? But it's better on the test, you have to make sure you actually find one more, right? Get a green one and then double check if they have the common ratio or not, okay? Because just having two is kind of risky. So let's get the ratio now, all right? Because this one, we assume this one is geometric, okay? So ratio is the second term divided by the first term, right? So we can simplify this, okay? If I reduce this one, it will become what? Ray?
Root 2 over 1. I mean, root 2 over 2.
Yep, root 2 over 2. Okay. So if you know this, right? Because we assume this one is geometry, then we could probably figure out the next one. Okay. So the green one, the perimeter, right? So you need to take the previous, right, the red one to multiply by root 2 over 2. So you can do that on the side. 200 root 2, that's a perimeter for the second one, times it by the ratio. Okay, you guys can try that. Okay, raise your hand if you found an answer for that. (200 root 2) times the ratio. Okay, Tiana, what do you have?
200.
200. Okay, very good. Okay, so this one, each time to go from one perimeter to the next one, you multiply by the ratio. So you can keep on going like this and then figure out what is the 8th rectangle, right? But that will take a long time. Still works, right? But then we want to do it a smarter way, right? Using the formula. So you can think of each one as like a term in the sequence. We have 400 is the first one. Second one is the 200 root 2. Third one is 200, right? This is the sequence. We want to find the 8th. So we are looking for T8. Okay, so it looks like we are doing sequence here, not sum, right? So please check your formula and then plug in the formula, okay? I'll let you figure out T8 by yourself. Once you found it, you can raise your hand. So this one is not a sequence, okay? Not a series. So you have to go back to last week's formula, last class formula. Right? You have 4 blanks to fill in. Did you guys get a decimal answer or exact?
Decimal.
Decimals, okay. Yeah, if you put into calculator, it will turn out decimal. But if we want to get exact, it's a little bit more work. Okay, you put 400, right? And then ratio is root 2 over 2, 8 minus 1. Okay, Donna, what do you have?
I found both decimal and exact.
Oh, really? Okay, what is
Yeah.
it?
for exact 25 root 2, and then decimal 35.35.
35.35. If you round.
Yeah.
Okay, how did you get the exact?
Uh,
Calculator?
no.
No? Okay.
Okay.
How,
So,
how did you figure it out?
I put it like 400 and then times 2 cubed times 2 squared,
Huh? Square. Oh,
2 squared, and then over,
like that?
yeah,
Okay.
and then 128. Over 128.
Okay. Where's the root?
Oh, 2 root, for 2 squared.
Oh. 2 square, you say you put 2 root?
No. Square.
Square root.
Square root 2.
Okay. Okay. Do you guys understand what's going on here? This is okay. This is correct. Okay, to get to 2 cube, okay, is practicing how to simplify this part, okay? Let me write it down, okay? Because in the homework, right, or your school work, you need to know how to get exact. So this part is the same as root 2 over 2 to the 7, right? And then the 7 can go into both of them, right? The exponent is for both numerator and denominator. So you would have 2 to the 7 and 2 to the 7, okay? Inside and outside. So for the inside, right, for denominator, 2 to the 7 is 128. So that's where the 128 come from. And then for the inside, in order to take things out, you got to have pairs. 2 to the 7, you can make 3 pairs of 2, right? 2 times 2, that's 1 pair. Because you have 7 2s inside. So you get 3 pairs. So that's why it's 2 cubed, okay? And then you get 1 left over, so it root 2, okay? So that's how she got the that expression there, okay? And after that, you can multiply together. 2 to the 3 is 8. So times 400, 3200. Okay, and then that will simplify into 25 root 2. Okay, so you need to know how to get the exact answer as well. Okay, not just the decimal. Okay, hopefully your teacher accept decimals, right? Any questions? Okay, I think we have one more. Okay, then we can just make it right on time. Okay, so next one is a ball dropping. Okay. A ball is dropped from a height of 50 meters. So here we have a ball here. Drop it down, right? When you drop it down, what happens? It will bounce, right? Right? It will go up, but it won't go up to the same height as before because of the gravity, right? So that's why here it says it rebounds only to 65% of the distance that it fell. Okay, so it drops down by 50, right? Here's 50 meter. So how high is the second one? Okay, Samantha said she doesn't have this page. Then you can just copy on the separate sheet of paper. Okay, line paper. Do you guys all have this page? Can you raise your hand if you have this page? Yeah, so probably because the printer, okay, the printer forgot to print this one, okay? The printer fell asleep. Okay, it's okay, all right? We only have one question here. So just copy it down, okay, and find the empty space. Okay, so how do we figure out the going up, the height of going up then? Cindy, how high does it go up?
Times 0.65.
Yep, okay, so the height that it goes up, you need to take 50 times 0.65. And what would that equal then, Ire?
32.5.
Thank you, 32.5, okay? And then it will do the dropping down again, right? Goes down, hit the ground, and then it goes up again. Okay, let me use different color. Okay, first bounce is 50. Second bounce is the red one, 32.5. And then it goes up and comes down, right? And continue, keep on going, right? So the height for the green one, okay, can you guys also figure this one out? What's the height of the green one? Can you raise your hand if you found it? Okay, so Garrick, what do you have? What's the green height?
21.125.
125. Okay, so the pattern will keep on going, right? Keep bouncing, bouncing, bouncing. So eventually it will be very close to the ground, right? You won't be able to tell it's bouncing at all, right? You can imagine that it keep on bouncing. Eventually, it looks like it's stopping. So the question here is asking, what is the total vertical distance? Vertical means going up and down, right? What's the total vertical distance traveled by the ball by the 8th bounce? So because it mentioned about the word total, so is it talking about sequence or series? Kelly, what do you think? Is it sequence or series? Which one has to do with the word total? Is it sequence or series? Kelly?
Sequence?
Sequence, is sequence having an adding?
Oh, series is
Yeah.
adding.
Okay. Series has the S, right? The sum. Okay, so total means the series. So this is a series question. Okay, so we want to add up all the up and down distance. Okay, so S, right? The sum that we want to add the 50, right? The dropping down, and then the 32.5 going up, and then another 32.5 going down, right? 21.125, another going down 21.125, and so on. Okay, so as you can see that it has double, right, of each of the number except the first one, right? So what we can do is we can pretend we are just doing half of it first. Okay, so let's say we just do we want to do 8, right? 8 bounce, right? This is the first bounce, second bounce, third bounce. Okay, so S8. And we'll talk about all the going down. Okay, so sum of downward. Okay, downward distance. Okay, we'll calculate the sum of all the going down first. So we're doing S8. we have two formula for series, right? Should we be using number 1 or number 2? Think about this. S8, should we use number 1 or number 2 formula? Tiana, what do you think? Is it number 1 or number 2?
Number 1.
Because?
We don't have the last term.
Yep, very good. Okay, so we have 1 minus r to the n. Okay, 1 minus r. So just focus on the going down now. Okay, so everybody please plug into your formula. Okay, if you have the final answer for S8, please raise your hand. Let's double check the ratio first, okay? What's the ratio for this problem? Cindy?
0.65.
Yep, very good. Okay. So A is 50, ratio is 0.65. We want to take it to the 8th. Please raise your hand if you get a number. So we are doing question A, okay? Question A will be here. All right, so let's check the answer. Donna, what do you have? Is your mic not working again? Oh no. Okay, Kelly, how about you? What's your S8?
138.305.
Yeah, okay, so that's correct. Anybody got different? Okay, so 138.305 is the sum of all the downwards only, right? But then we also have going up. So to get the total distance, what should we do then? What should we do with this number? Cindy, what do you think?
Times 2.
Okay, so the S8 need to multiply by 2. Would that give the total distance? Would that be the final answer?
Yes.
Yes. Then why am I asking? Think. Look at the picture, okay? If you double the S8, would that be the answer that we want?
No.
Why not? How come it's not? How come? Why can life be simple, right? Why can this be the final answer? Anybody? Can anybody help out here?
You subtract 50
Okay, why is that? Why do we need to subtract 50?
because there's an x when you drop it down, it's 50, but when it doesn't go back up to 50,
Yes,
so you
okay.
subtract 50.
Very good. Okay, the 50, it does not have an going up, right? So when you double the S8, it's assuming you also go up for 50, right? You are doubling the 50 as well. Make sense, Cindy?
Yeah.
Okay, it doesn't have an up and down, only has the down, right? So if you double that, it has an extra 50, so you gotta subtract it back. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, you can raise your hand if you get a final answer there. So Donna, what's your answer now?
226.61.
61? It says
Yeah.
61, yeah, okay. So 261 meters, okay? So that's our answer for A. Okay, so question B is saying if it bounces indefinitely, that means it keeps on going, right? Indefinite means forever, okay? So that means it's the infinite formula. So we can do the same thing, okay? It's doing the exact same steps, but then the formula we are using is the infinite formula, okay? So S infinite will be sum of the downward distance infinitely, right? Indefinitely. So the formula is this one, right? Much shorter, okay? So you get the answer from there, and then you still have to calculate the total distance. So I'll let you complete this part, okay, by yourself now. If you get the final answer, you can raise your hand, okay? Oh, so fast. You already finished. So A is still the same. A is the 50. Ratio is still the same, 0.65, okay? Let's check the S infinite, okay? Cindy, what do you have for S infinite?
142.857.
142.857,
857.
okay. Right, so you can see that it's bigger than the S8 that we got, right? Because it bounced more. It makes sense, right? If it's smaller than that, it doesn't make sense. Okay, please raise your hand if you get the answer in the red box. Very good. Okay, Tiana, what's your final answer?
Is it 235.714?
235.714. Okay.
Yeah.
And Eric, can you tell us how to get that?
2 times S infinite minus 50.
Yeah, so you see it's the same steps. Okay, so we just finished right on time. Okay, perfect. So it's been a great journey. Okay, you guys are working very hard, right? For the past 20, 28 classes or 30, I forgot. Okay, so I'm very proud of you. You guys all stick to it. So I hope in the future, right, you will be probably taking grade 12, right, next term in September for most of you. So I'm gonna leave the videos and the notes in Google Classroom still, right? So you can go back